everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now this is a rather beautifully figured piece of olive ash, and I've been wondering what to do with it for a little while, and today's the day we finally make something from it. I'm thinking about cutting it off around there and then turning a bowl in this little section here, maybe slightly off center, not quite sure yet, but I think that's the best we can make from it. I can't turn the full length because obviously this little lathe isn't big enough, so we're going to take it off, I think, just about there. Right, let's mark it up. That's right. Right, I'll go and cut this bit off and we'll take it from there. So there we go. Actually managed to cut nearly a straight line. It's good for me, I'm pleased with that. Right, we need to find a centre on here. So I'm going to mount this side with a worm screw, and then when it's on there, we'll flatten at the bottom and put a small recess in for the chuck. Then we can turn it around and create our bowl on this side. So I think the best way to find the centre on this is by eye. All right, let's find the exact centre first of all with the proper way. Right, X marks the spot. I think we are going to be turning out of balance, but I never expected it to be anything else. This side piece, by the way, might do something very similar with that. I have almost like a matching set of bowls. If you can keep the bark on this, that would be fantastic. We'll get it cleaned up and looking lovely. Right. Okay. Let's just see how stable this is. I'll turn the lathe right down. The answer to that is not very. And as we're not turning this round, this isn't going to get any better. So buckle your seatbelts, we're in for a dodgy ride. I just made the design decision just to give it a small foot. I think it's just going to help with the appeal, and it's also going to help with the longevity of this piece, because if this wood does move a little bit over time, then having a foot will make sure that it doesn't become kind of wonky. Right, it's going to be an awful very difficult to get this completely smooth with any turning tool, because of the amount it's vibrating. So I'll do the best I can, but then a lot of it's going to have to be hand sanded, a lot of these sides. Right, okay, carry on. I know one thing for certain, taking the bowl out is going to be absolutely hilarious. going a little bit deeper than usual for obvious reasons. I need as much safety on this as I can possibly get. Okay, I'm going to go across here with a scraper, see what I can smoothen out. Okay, that did pretty well. Right, sanding time and defluffing time, and yeah, I'll let you watch some of it, but this is going to take a reasonable while, so I'll bring you back when I'm done. Right, that took a while. Still got little bits of this bark there's a few little bits of moss still in there, but I've got most of it out. Right, I want to try and keep this as natural looking as possible. So let's think about what kind of sealer's best. Okay, I've got some acrylic sanding sealer in a can, so I think this is going to be ideal for this bark. It's either that or I've got a brush out. Let's give it a go. We'll let that settle in. Okay, first coat's dry. Let's get another one. Right, when this one dries, I'm going to go over it with a bit of Yorkshire grit, just to denub it. Okay, nice and dry. Yes, we are dry. Right, so I'm going to cover it all over in Yorkshire grit. So I've made a kind of makeshift buffer to polish it on. It worked. Excellent. Right. Isopropyl alcohol, clean it off. When that dries, we'll put a finish on it. Right, this is a shine juice I made up for my last project, and it's just linseed oil, raw linseed oil, and a shellac mix. And we're going to do this the same way, apply it to each surface and then buff it with a sander. Okay, we can turn this round. That's when the real fun begins. I think I'm going to call this one the brick. Right, I think at the start I want to use some tailstock support because, yeah, I think it's fairly obvious why. I think to make my life a little bit easier, I'm going to mark where I want the bowl to be and then take it down from the edge of the bowl. That's going to make life interesting. Okay, well, it's a rustic piece, so I think we're just going to live with the knot. So I'm just going to try and turn from here outwards, turn it down by 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more. Start worrying about the. We'll start worrying about the ball now. Not that I'm worried. Something in here as hard as nails. I think it looks like burls or something like that. Yeah, absolutely kicking the bowl gouge to pieces. It's probably old carbide. See if we can just make a bit of headway with that. Okay, we're winning, but we haven't won. At some point I'm going to have to take this tailstock away, and I really don't want to, but I'm going to have to. Oh well, we'll take it away now and see what happens. Oh, hello. I've got more holes. Well, they don't go all the way through, which is good. Well, I think we can afford to go a bit deeper just to see what happens to them. So let's try that. Will they stay or will they go? My bet is they'll stay. Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we fill them and we use a bit of Milliput as opposed to resin, because I can actually rebuild this edge pretty easily without having to put tape around and everything like that. So I'm just going to smarten up this curve a little bit with the scraper, and then I'll get the Milliput out. We'll mix a bit of Milliput up. Okay, excuse me. Right, we'll take this off the lathe, clean up these bits, and then put some Milliput in. And leave it on the chuck. I thought I'd run out of Milliput. See if I can get some more. If you haven't used it before, Milliput is just kind of a two-part epoxy putty. But when you mix the hardener and the colour together, it ends up going absolutely rock solid, and you can sand it, mill it, paint it, anything you want. Oops. Right, so let's mix these together. That's all mixed. You can tell when it's all one uniform colour, which is this. Oh, correct. It nearly is. It will be in a second. There you go. It's all mixed. It's all in one uniform colour. Now I can peel off bits and shove these into the crevices we've got. Let's start with that bigger one at the bottom first. That's it. All right. Let this dry overnight. I'll come back tomorrow and finish it off. Okay, the Milliput's had a good time to firm up, so we'll clean it up. I've just sharpened up my scraper and we'll just take it out. Hopefully the days of wobbly balls will soon be gone and we can work on something nice and round. All the rest is going to be sanding. As ever, I'll let you watch the start, and then I'll turn you off and bring you back at the end. I've certainly had easier things to sand. Right, I'm just going to clean out the pores with a bit of isopropyl. This olive ash though is absolutely gorgeous. Just let that sit for a bit. Okay, that's dry, so I'm just going to go over again with the acrylic sanding sealer, like I did on the sides. I'm just going to give this bark another go over as well. Right. Give that a second to sit. Okay, that's had a little while to sit. So we're going to go back on like we did before with Yorkshire grit, and then with a final finish. Right, I'll clean that off with isopropyl. And then we can put the final finish on. Right, I'll need a pair of gloves on for the next part. Okay, I'll buff this in. Let's take this off and get a better look. Well, there we have it. A live edge, rustic olive ash bowl. It's been a fight, as I'm sure you realised when you were watching the video. It's tried to vibrate its way off the lathe goodness knows how many times, but well, you've got to try these things. It's got a beautiful shape, it's got a lovely feel to it, a nice weight to it. I honestly thought at the start this wasn't going to be, it's going to be a nice quick project because there's not a lot of turning involved, but it's probably taken longer than a normal standard bowl, purely because of the difficulties we were facing with everything being off balance. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe. It really does help. And if you leave a comment as well, then you're going to be entered into a competition for when we get to 2,500 subscribers. But apart from that, thank you very much indeed. And I'll see you next time.